Get ready for a mind-blowing fact: Russia, the giant of our world map. Can we all raise our hands and show some love for our massive home countries? Awesome, I see lots of you. But here's what makes Russia truly unique. While Australians can proudly say their country is huge enough to be an entire continent, Russians get to enjoy something even more impressive. Their nation spans TWO/CTINants. That's right, folks. Russia doesn't just cover a lot of ground. It covers a lot of time zones too, Nenin to be exact. So let's all give a shout out to Russia and its record-breaking size that puts every other country in awe. But there's a fascinating reason for our focus on Russia's enormity. Did you know that this incredible nation takes up about 1/8 of all land on our amazing planet? Mind blown, right? Now, let's get to the real story behind our sudden Russia obsession. Here's the thing. We initially thought we'd share some shocking news with you, but it turns out we were bluffing. But don't worry, instead, let's dive into something even more intriguing about this behemoth of a country and explore what makes it so special. You thought we were talking about Russia losing acres left and right, but that's not even close to being true. With over 17 million square kilometers under its belt, Russia has all the space it needs, and then some. So why the fuss? The real issue at hand isn't land disappearing, but people. It turns out Russia is experiencing a population decline, with fewer births than deaths, making this shrinkage more of a demographic concern than a geographical one. Buckle up, folks. Let's dive into the stats and explore what's behind this surprising trend. Think about it. Russia may seem massive with its enormous landmass stretching over 17 million square kilometers, but when we look at actual people, not just acres, the picture changes. With a population of around 146 million, Russia ranks 8th globally, and that's quite far from being the most populous country. It's time to put some numbers into perspective. With such vast territory yet relatively few residents, you could say it's an underpopulated giant. Let's explore this further and find out why Russia isn't as densely populated as we'd expect given its size. Here's an astonishing fact. Despite being a whopping 118 times smaller, Bangladesh outnumbers Russia by a staggering 18 million people with its massive population of 164 million. Meanwhile, Japan packs almost twice as many people into a space that's only about 45 times smaller than Russia's territory. Now let's zoom in on the Indonesian island of Java. This economic powerhouse is an incredible 123 times smaller in area compared to Russia, yet it boasts a population of 141 million, leaving us wondering how such a small landmass can accommodate so many people. So, let's dive into why this massive population disparity exists between these countries. The first thing that likely comes to mind is climate, and you're absolutely right. Many Russian regions are extremely cold, making it difficult for humans to inhabit them. As a result, the majority of Russia's population, about 73 million strong, is packed into the European part, which takes up just 23% of the country's total land area. Siberia, on the other hand, covering an enormous 77%, is home to only about 36 million people, or roughly 1/4 of the Russian population, a staggering contrast. You might think the harsh Russian winters are the sole reason behind its population distribution, with temperatures plummeting to a chilly 25 degrees centigrade in January. But hold on, there's more. Take the city of Norilsk, built back in the 1930s within the Arctic Circle, boasting an impressive population of around 170,000 residents. Yet, despite this exception, the norm tends to be smaller towns and cities. While climate certainly plays a role, let's not jump to conclusions. It's not just about the cold when considering Russia's population density. Let's dive into the impact of history on population, and I'm not talking about some ancient era, but a pivotal event that shaped Russia as we know it today, World War II. It might feel like a sensitive topic to tackle, but understanding its effects is crucial in grasping our present-day reality. Here's a staggering fact. Russia suffered an estimated 30 million casualties during the war, a number so massive that its echo can be felt every 25 years or across generations. The devastating loss meant fewer families and subsequently lower birth rates, leaving an indelible mark on Russia's population story. But here's where things get even more interesting, or should I say concerning. The demographic ripple effect of World War II has continued to impact Russia's population, manifesting in 3 distinct declines following the war itself in the late 1960s, and then again in the 1990s. And now we're seeing a third echo of that trauma. This is partly because, as one of the first nations where birth rates dropped below the replacement level post-2000 Russia's population has been struggling to recover ever since. Now let's shift gears to another vital factor: death rates. While globally, you'll find around 9 deaths per 1,000 people annually, the US, for example, falls slightly above this average. But here's what really gets the numbers crazystuffing now, and not in a good way for Russia. Their death rate stands at 15 deaths per 1,000, significantly higher than both the global average of 9 deaths and the US with its 8 deaths per 1,000. So, is it just the harsh Russian winters playing the villain here? Not quite. There are deeper reasons behind this alarming statistic that we're about to dive into next. You might have heard Russians and vodka go hand in hand, so it's no shocker that excessive drinking leads to a staggering number of alcohol-related emergencies flooding Russian ERs. In fact, men in Russia sadly live only until 59 on average, while women make it to 72, a gap largely due to the heavy drinking habits among the male population. Now, keep in mind that these numbers don't just paint a grim picture, they also have a significant impact on Russia's overall demographic landscape. But here's the catch: when it comes to shaping a country's future, deaths are just half the story. It's actually births that hold the real power. Russia's drinking culture could be deterring women from starting families, and let's not forget the massive expenses of quality healthcare and education. Imagine having to save for your kids' medical bills and school fees. It's like trying to stop a financial storm, but with 2 or more kids on the way, you'd need a whole army of savings. So, even if a couple decides to have 2 babies, it might not be enough to buck this trend. Now let's put this into perspective. Globally, there are 20 babies born per 1,000 people every year, but in Russia, that number plummets to just 10 births. To give you a better idea, the US has an even lower birth rate at 14 per 1,000. So, why is Russia lagging so far behind? Well, one major factor is the country's history with abortion. It's been a common form of birth control since Soviet times. Although the technique itself isn't new, its widespread use here still contributes to the alarming drop in Russia's population growth. Here's a mind-blowing stat. In 2004, Russia saw an astonishing 1.6 million abortions take place, outpacing the number of births at 1.5 million. The BBC even shed more light on this trend in 2003, revealing that for every 10 live births, there were a whopping 13 terminations. Can you see where we're headed with these numbers? Let's shift gears and talk about a lesser-known factor: migration. You'd think Russia's breathtaking winter landscapes would attract folks worldwide. But surprisingly, immigration rates there are pretty low. Most people moving into Russia are actually ethnic Russians coming from former Soviet republics, not international newcomers. But here's the twist: many native Russians themselves are leaving to chase better opportunities in Western Europe and beyond. So who do you think is driving these Russian diaspora numbers? Now, let's hear straight from the horse's mouth, or in this case, Putin himself. He laid out the reasons behind Russia's low immigration rates during a speech, saying what's stopping young families and individuals from moving. His answer is clear: it comes down to basic needs like low wages, unaffordable housing, uncertainty about healthcare and education, and even concerns about having enough food on the table. It's no wonder Russians are looking elsewhere for a better life. What's your take on Putin's words about Russia's population decline? Share your thoughts with us in the comments. We'd love to hear them. If you found this video insightful, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more edgy content and click the notification bell to stay updated on our latest videos. That's it for today. If you enjoyed this video, we've got plenty more where that came from. Check out the links in our description box to explore our full library. And don't forget to stay connected with us across all your favorite social media platforms.